In the bustling streets of Dhaka, thousands come and go every day. Among them is a rickshaw puller named He's nearly 50, with signs of hard labor on his body and deep exhaustion in his eyes. He has been pulling this rickshaw for the last 5 years. His face is full of dust, and it's hard to tell how many days he has left to live. Yet whenever he hears his rickshaw horn, his tired eyes seem to regain a bit of their lost shine. It's as if he still sees some hope in the dusty roads of old Dhaka. But have you ever wondered why Salamuddin became a rickshaw puller? What's the story behind those tired eyes? Why does he put his life on the line every day in this crazy traffic of Dhaka? Welcome to the channel. And today let's find out Salamuddin's story. When Salamuddin was young, he was like any other kid. He loved playing by the canals near his home, and he dreamed of becoming something big one day. When he grew up, he married the girl next door Begum, and they had 2 sons together. Their small house by the canal was the center of his peaceful life. Salamuddin wanted his children to have a better life than him. That's why he saved every penny and sent his eldest son to high school. He himself worked as a primary school teacher at a local school in the village. After a day's work, when he returned home, he would see his wife making sweets and snacks to sell at the market. Sometimes Salamuddin would help her, but most of the time he would spend his evenings reading books or playing chess with his friend Rafiqul. Life was simple and quiet. The only sound that disturbed the peace was the train that passed by their home every evening. Then one night, a sudden heavy rain woke Salamuddin from his sleep. He got up and went to the window. The rain was so heavy that he couldn't see anything outside. Salamuddin thought that maybe it will stop by morning. So he went back to bed. But when he woke up the next morning, the rain hadn't stopped. Worried, he stepped out of the house and saw that the canal water had started to rise. Within a few hours, the water had taken over the road and was moving towards his house. Salamuddin quickly informed his family and neighbors about the flood. Everyone started running for higher ground. As the water level rose, people's houses started collapsing. That day, the flood took away many lives. By evening, Salamuddin found his house was completely destroyed. There was nothing left of his home. Everything was washed away. He didn't even see his wife and children anywhere. The flood had taken them away. After the flood, Salamuddin lived in a refugee camp. With the help of some volunteers, he was able to find his wife and children in another village. They were safe. However, the school where Salamuddin used to teach got completely damaged. The entire village was destroyed in the flood. There was not a single job there anymore. Left with no choice, Salamuddin decided to move to Dhaka with his family and find some work there. He hoped that one day the village would become livable again and he could return home. But who would take care of his family until then? He had no one else to rely on. He had to do something. So when a rickshaw dealer offered him a job, he agreed without thinking twice. Every morning, Salamuddin would get up before sunrise and start pulling the rickshaw. Throughout the day, he would pedal through the busy streets of old Dhaka, dodging cars and pedestrians. He pulled the rickshaw through traffic and dust, all for a few hundred taka a day. One day, while pulling his rickshaw, he heard some commotion in an alley. People were gathered around a sick boy. Salamuddin stopped his rickshaw and went inside. The people told him that the boy's condition had worsened during the night and they needed to take him to the hospital immediately. Salamuddin felt sorry for the child and asked his friend Rafiqul to take him to the hospital. At the hospital, the doctor told the villagers that the boy needed urgent treatment, otherwise he might die. The villagers were worried, but they didn't have enough money for the treatment. Just then, Salamuddin stepped forward and said he would arrange for the money. He knew his family would worry if they knew he was spending his hard-earned money on someone else. Still, he couldn't let the child die. Salamuddin called his wife and asked for some money. He promised to pay it back as soon as possible. Begum didn't ask any questions. She understood why her husband needed money, so she transferred the amount to... He thanked his wife and went to pay the doctor. After a few days, the boy recovered and was able to return home. Salamuddin was happy to have helped him, but he also started worrying about the money he owed his wife. To earn some extra money, he started working 7 days a week. He pulled his rickshaw from morning till night. Even then, he couldn't make enough money to pay back his wife. One day, while pulling his rickshaw, he heard some people talking about a new construction project in the city. Salamuddin thought it was a great opportunity to earn some quick cash, so he went there and started working as a construction worker. 4 months, he worked at the construction site and saved every penny. Then one day, when he was returning home, he met his friend Rafiq. Rafika was shocked to see Salamuddin working at a construction site. He asked Salamuddin why he had left being a rickshaw puller. Salamuddin replied that he needed more money to support his family. Rafiq asked Salamuddin to meet him at his house the next day. Salamuddin agreed. The next day, Salamuddin went to Rafiq's house. When he entered, he saw several people sitting there. All of them were from the village. Rafiq welcomed them all and introduced them as investors. He said they wanted to start a business and needed a loan. Rafiq asked Salamuddin to take the loan so that they could start their business. Salamuddin was hesitant at first, but Rafiq insisted. Finally, Salamuddin agreed to take a loan of 50,000 taka, but little did he know that he was signing his own death sentence. Over the next few days, Salamuddin started repaying the loan. He worked tirelessly, pulling rickshaws and working at the construction site. He saved every penny and sent it to Rafiq. But Rafiq kept asking for more money. He had taken loans from many people, but now he couldn't pay anyone back. One day, Salamuddin received a call from his home. His youngest son was seriously ill and needed urgent treatment. His wife told Salamuddin that the doctors had asked for more than 100,000 taka for his son's treatment. Salamuddin was shocked. He didn't have that much money. Still, Salamuddin had to do something. He couldn't lose his son. In desperation, he sold his blood. He gave the money to his wife and asked her to pay for his son's treatment. Then he called his friend Rafiq and asked him to lend him 70,000 taka. But Rafiq refused. Salamuddin had no other option left, so he started skipping meals and sent every single penny he earned home. He stopped paying rent for the rickshaw and began sleeping on the roadside to save more. But still, it wasn't enough. One evening, while pulling his rickshaw after a long day, his weak body finally gave out. He collapsed on the street. People passing by rushed him to the hospital. The doctors examined him and told his wife that his body was dangerously weak and he needed complete rest. Otherwise, he might die. But resting meant no income. No income meant no treatment for his child. How could Salamuddin choose between his life and his son's? Lying in the hospital bed, he softly whispered just one thing. It doesn't matter what happens to me. Just don't let my son's medicine stop. What will happen to son? Will he be able to save his son? Or is his life destined to end here on the streets of Dhaka? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories.